All right, good morning, everyone. We'll get going here. All right. S&P, U.S. markets, everything pretty much regained a lot of what the early losses were. I mean, you can see how steep the drawdown was early in the morning, and we kind of came up, touched flatline on the S&P. We actually were up about 15 or 20 points, I think, on the Dow at a point. Before we backed off a little bit from the highs. You can see there, the defensive lights, the telecoms, and things of that nature, healthcare, everything like that, were the outperformers, and a lot of the others did take some selling. But I think it was a very good day in the U.S. markets considering. And just looks like a little bit of profit taking. The data out in Europe and the U.S. Throughout the day was okay, but it wasn't spectacular, so it didn't really get any juices flowing for the market. We had some wild moves overnight on the Nikkei. I think we were up over 3% in early action on the Nikkei. And then we got some comments out of the BOJ governor. So the central bank had announced sufficient stimulus and basically ripped the markets down. I think maybe a little bit of a misinterpretation on what he was saying. We saw the yen run from about 250 all the way down to 101. And markets dipped all the way to 2+% down, so we had about a 6% swing over this couple hour period here. We have managed to turn back up later in the session, and we've gained back into the green on the Nikkei, but just shows you, I think the volatility is going to start to come back here, so be cognizant of that and be ready for that kind of thing to continue to happen in our market as well. All right. We had Tungart out this morning with earnings. They came out revenue up 19% at 14.37 billion. That's better than expected, almost by $500 million. Earnings per share came in at 960. That's right on the nose of guidance. Missed the initial expectations, but since the trading statement, that's right in line with guidance. Divi per share came in light by about 40 cents. So, I don't think this is a real standout earnings report, but maybe it's slightly weaker than expected. We've got on Monday we've got AngloGold going ex-div 50 cents. And then we had a lot of broker upgrade downgrades today. We had Investec rated add at Numis, a price target 80.65. We had SAB that was rated neutral by Nomura and HSBC. The price targets at 497 and 533. And then we've got Barlow that was cut to underperform versus neutral at Credit Suisse, and we had Kumbo which was cut to sell versus neutral at Goldman. So I think the Kumbo one will probably have the biggest impact. Obviously, SAB, it's a bit of a non-event, but keep those in mind today. All right, we also have some very light data out today. We've got German GDP, which is out already. It came in line at 0.1%. We've got the IFO business climate out of Germany at 10 o'clock, and we've got Italian consumer confidence at 10, and then we've got the durable goods orders out of the States later at 2:30. So no major data out today. Let's just jump into the maps. Okay, first thing I want to show here is the Aussie. We'll show it on a 30-day. And you can see here, the sort of support levels that we hit there yesterday, or the last few sessions, sorry, I should say. We pulled back to test it yesterday at around 36,330. This is it could be potentially the start to a little bit of a head and shoulder pattern. Obviously, markets have opened up a little bit more this morning. You can see us trading around here, but if we were to trade slightly higher on the day, we could end up setting up into a little bit of a head and shoulder pattern. The one thing that I can make mention to you on is we heard Some talk from some of the other market players yesterday that 36,000, this level right around here, there's some negative gamma that could come into the market there and at a reasonable size. So around 36,000, I think if we get down to that level, and especially if we can get it a little bit below, we could have some forced selling. So just keep that in mind over the next day or two. All right, let's have a look at first REM. We're first in real quick here. We tweeted this yesterday. We came down and tested this level right around 30. It's really what is our main lateral support level in here. I think we dropped 30. I'm not sure where we're going to go to, but we could have a reasonable amount on the downside if we get through 30 on first REN. So watch that one really closely. Its sister RMH has already kind of dropped lateral support here. Right there, not on lateral, but on trend line, we're right there at that level. Laterally, we dropped to new lows, going all the way back to December. So, RMH is starting to look a little bit shaky. We are still holding that slight trend line there a little bit, but something to keep a close eye on if that breaks or first REN breaks at 30. Kumbo, which I was already planning on showing. I know we showed this yesterday. Obviously, Goldman downgraded this to sell. So today we could be under a little bit of pressure. I like this on the short side. Probably today, I would assume that we're going to trade down a little bit because of that downgrade. We got down below here yesterday, this little upward sloping wedge. Everything here, to me, really sets up nicely. We also really came up and tested more or less the fib levels close to 61% as of Wednesday. So the fact that we kind of got to those levels, we've started to make a reversal. We're looking to break down out of this upper sloping wedge. I really think we could really sell off quite nicely, and I think the real catalyst will be if we can get a close back below 500. So watch that one today. There could be a play coming on in Kumba over the next session. All right, breweries. We'll look at breweries real quick. I'll just pull this forward a touch so that we can see it a little bit better. You can see right here at around 495. There's some support on breweries, and that's really where we broke out. You can also, I would say that the little risk range that we're going to look at is somewhere between 488 and 494. Somewhere in that area, I think, might be worth a little bit of a nibble on SA Breweries. Remember, this thing, every time it's come back to test support, it's pretty much pushed higher over the last little while. So I think the risk reward here maybe not so bad, especially considering the rand has kind of been a one-way bet. So keep an eye on that one. Imperial also. Let me just back out here a touch. Imperial, we broke out a few sessions ago. I mean, I think, if I could just step back for 1 second, I think one of the things that we need to look at, and we're not there yet. I mean, I think we're going to be looking for more correction, obviously, than we saw yesterday. But I think, we are quite clearly in a bull market phase. We probably are going to see a little correction over the next little while. So I think you need to be a bit patient. But I think, if we sell off another 1,000, 2,000 points, I think the opportunities are going to be to look to pick up at good levels, pick up at support. Here's another one of those plays. Imperial here right around 210. Where we broke out might be a decent little place to nibble. We traded 230 a couple times about a week or two ago. We can look at a couple of other plays like that, like your breweries and things, but there's lots of support plays that are going to be coming into play over the next few sessions. So I think it's important for us to keep an eye out for those. The last couple I'm going to show are going to be offshore stuff. First one being AT&T. Which, if I can just shorten this up a bit, you can see here we broke below support, quite clear support on AT&T as of day before yesterday. We did get a little bounce up toward that level yesterday, I think strictly because of defensives, but I think it could give us a good little opportunity maybe to sell into that. And then the last one's going to be ITV on the LSE. Which is breaking out here a bit, both laterally and and on the trend line there. So let's look for probably about 20p to the upside, 15 to 20p on the upside from ITV, which is a hell of a nice move from here. And that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot.